Raiman, it's an honor and a privilege to have you come to our home on Amelia Island. I really enjoyed interviewing you at your last course in Atlanta, demonstrating and teaching precision trading system to a very lucky group of about 80 people. And I left with so much knowledge after just being there to interview you, but ended up, my wife and I, absorbing the course while we were there. And as you know, I'm now a PTS trader. I'd been a technical trader for many years, but this is the step beyond technical trading. I have never seen anything like this before, where you can literally take a rifle shot at a trade, long or short, get in, get out, and book your profits, especially in a market like we're in today's world in the U.S. I was wondering, while you're here, if you might demonstrate your platform, the PTS platform that you developed, and maybe talk to us about why you developed it and what your goals were in doing the development.
Sure.
Here, take a seat.
Okay, and we have, I hope, a good shot of this. And primarily what we're looking at right now is on the right screen. And you'll notice that, first of all, there are channels. So we can see the trends of the stocks and how much they're likely to move in any particular time frame. So there is a system to this where we work all the charts in conjunction, so that we make our decisions not based on one chart, but on how all the charts are working together. And we can usually grab anywhere from 90 to even 100% of the move of a stock. All the signals that you get are real time. There are no lagging indicators in this system. So you see it as it happens in real time. And how did this start? It started originally, I was building software for a hedge fund, and I decided the approach I would take would be that an engineer would take. And what we're doing is measuring price movement and probabilities in real time, which is the way an engineer would approach this, rather than using the traditional technical indicators that we see in the markets. I have one technical indicator up here. We don't trade it, but it gives us a heads up, and that's the relative strength index. And it's nice to see what that is, but we take the signals, long or short, based on the PTS charting. And the charts, you'll see an envelope. There are actually 3 lines moving in any time frame up and down these channels. The channels expand and contract in real time. And the envelopes are the ones that actually give us the signals to go long or short. And depending on where they occur and on what chart, you'll know pretty much how much money is in the trade before you take the trade. And whether you want to take the trade, that's risk to reward. Is there enough money, and is it worth risking this much money to make that much money? And there's a ratio for that. We teach how to make these decisions ahead of time. For example, and this is Merrill Lynch, and Friday morning it was down here somewhere around 40, it was actually a low about 41.63. And if you were thinking about going long, you said, well, where's the top of the channel? Well, it's up about 46. Is it worth, for 5 or 6 points, taking this trade? Of course, the answer is absolutely yes, because that's a fabulous trade. At this point, we're looking at it for the next short. It's not there yet, but we can see ahead of time at what point would I go short? About $46. Below $46, we'd be looking for a trade that would take us at least to $43, and that's well worth it. We can then take that information, move it over into an alert window. Here are some that were triggered from last week. If that short occurs, the trigger, it'll light up red. Here we have an example where you can see it turning red on UA. I guess that's, is that United Airways? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it triggered. And I see Boeing triggered long at 39.74, closed at 41.86. And you can have multiple trades sitting there ready to go. You just have to wait for them to trigger or not trigger. And that, of course, is a function of the market. If we're in a day that's extremely flat, they're not going to trigger. If there's a lot of momentum or a lot of excitement, as we fortunately had last week, then you're going to have too many trades to take. It's up to you to decide which are your favorite. But there'll be too many things going on. And if they don't trigger, that's good, because you're not going to lose any money if nothing happens. You're not going to get dragged into a trade that's going nowhere. Now, one of the things we have here on the day chart is we're showing all the traditional moving averages. For example, this has a 10-day. I assume that this not being my computer, it's yours. That's probably the 200-day moving average.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Plus
why
the
are they up
325.
there? They're up there so that we can see what the market's looking at, because we know the market reacts at certain key price points. And one of them, the 200-day, the 50-day, these are very important. For example, if a stock's trading under the 200-day, it's considered very bearish. So we can see right away where it is, and we can see that the price of this stock has moved up. It's right now, is that your, I assume your 18 or 20-day moving average?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's resistance. If it gets past there, we know we have some pretty strong resistance at 47.80, which is another dollar. So we know this is not a good time to take a long position. First of all, we missed the swing. The swing on PTS here came in the morning and has already moved up $5 or $6. And now we know we're just below some strong resistance. If we want to enter now, no, we should wait till it gets above that resistance and then take the next leg up. But we essentially follow, we're technical traders, except the technical indicators we're following are PTS generated. And statistically, the statistical evaluation of price movement is what our system's based on. It's the only one I know of that was built this way, and it works incredibly well. It's in use at SIBO, it's in use at the New York Stock Exchange, it's used by market makers all over the world, it's in use by mutual fund managers, hedge fund managers, money managers, and so on. Certified financial planners use it, and they're very, very incredibly accurate. That's why we call it precision trading. We're accurate to within pennies. Very often you'll see a long trigger, and the stock will move up to within a penny of that trigger, turn right around and run the other way. That's how close we can cut it, right to the penny.
So your platform, in essence, allows a retail trader, which is an at-home, non-professional trader like myself,
Right.
to have tools that are regarded the finest by the professional traders in this world.
Absolutely.
And that are dealing in billions of dollars, where you can manage your account to the good as well as they do.
You will actually, in many cases, have better tools than the professionals have.
Explain, would you?
Well, because some of the market makers, we always have market makers, for example, at every course. But they don't all have this yet. But you will actually have better tools than many of them have at their trading rooms in New York.
That's incredible.
Sometimes they have pretty, what I call gross, a 50-day moving average and some basic things, which is not nearly good enough.
And just working off of things like the relative strength index, plus candlesticks,
They'll be looking
which
at
are a way of,
MACDs,
yes,
which is a B- level
totally
indicator.
Well, that's the way I used to trade, was off of those old technical indicators.
And a positive way of looking at it,
and very sloppy.
is that if you're using this, there's nobody in the world that has anything better than you have.